आज द्वितीय दिन में आम प्रथम कार्यक्रम हूँ अर्थनीति संपर्क क्लाइमेट चेंज इन एंड द इकोनॉमिक इम्पैक्ट ऑन ओडिशा ये संपर्क में आम गोटे साहित्य सभा रखार कार्यक्रम हूँ जे ओडिशा विशेषकर गोटे जलवायु द्वारा अध्युषित प्रदेश एठी अधिका आमको जदि ओडिशा एवं ओडिशा बाहर कहीं चिन्हित करिछि ताले आमर घूर्णिबात्या महाबात्या मरुड़ी तथा बन्या पे जुग जुग धरी आमको यही परिचय मिलाई एवं आम प्रथम थर पर ये आलोचना रखुचु जे यही जो दैव दुर्विपाक बोली कह जाउछि यह सतरे कौन दैव एवं आर संपर्क आ फल आम अर्थनीति आर कि प्रकार प्रभाव पड़ुछि ये संपर्क में आज आलोचना करने आम गहण अच्छा विशिष्ट कवि और अर्थनीतिज्ञ डॉक्टर सत्य महांती जी वर्तमान एडजंक्ट प्रोफेसर अच्छा जामिया मिलिया यूनिवर्सिटी रे जदिव आपण मैंने अन्य परिचय जानते जे से थिले क्या यूनियन सेक्रेटरी इन एचआरडी डिपार्टमेंट एवं सेक्रेटरी जनरल एनएचआरसी रे तांको सहित आउ जड़े अर्थनीति सहित सकाळु संध्या जड़ित थिबा एवं आमर जड़े भारी पॉपुलर लेखक श्री नृसिंह प्रसाद महापात्र वर्तमान बॉम्बे रे चीफ जनरल मैनेजर नाबार्ड रे अछंती से मध्य आज आमर अनुरोध रक्षा करी आछंती आसंतु सुनिबा समान पाखरु ओडिशार यही अर्थनीति उपरे की प्रभाव रही आम जलवायु परिवर्तन
आज ये आलोचनार मोर सहित बसथिबा बड़ भाई माननीय श्री सत्य महांती एठारे उपस्थित बहु आज चिन्हा परिचय मुह देखा मिलूँ मोर मित्र जे एनजीओ सहित काम करते 30 वर्ष तले सी अच्छा एसएन मिश्र अच्छा जहाँ सहित मोर देखाई परेश पट्टनायक अच्छा समरेंद्र दास अच्छा जो मैंने बैंकिंग सेक्टर आसचंती मीडिया रु अच्छा साहित्य रु अच्छा जितेबाला आम जलवायु परिवर्तन कथा कहूचे से मो मनरे आसुची जे आमे एक कथा केबेठु शुणी आसुचे एवं मोर मन अच्छे मु बहुत दिन तले कविता लिखिली ओडिशा रे महाबन्या जेते काल थिबो गोपबंधु दास ओडिशा तुमको केबे न भूलिबो से कहानी मध्य मोर मन अच्छी जे सी पित्तल ना गिल्टी सुना जो देखौथिले पाटना आसेम्बली रे जेतेबेले बात्या हेतिला जे सेडा सब सुना बोली कहूथिले इंग्रेज माने एवं से कहले नहीं एडा पित्तलर से कहानी मध्य मोर मन पड़ुची तेबे आमे 1999 महाबात्या देखिले परवर्ती समय हुडहुड देखिले एवं एबे फानी देखिले समय क्रम सब होउची मु आपन को गोटे छोटिया उदाहरण दूची 1930 मसीह जो लैंड सर्वे होता एवं परवर्ती समय 2000 मसीह ओडिशार जो लैंड सर्वे होता एथुरु जणागला जे 155 वर्ग किलोमीटर आमर भूमि भाग सात भाया अंचल रे समुद्र भितर चली जाइए 5 खंडी गाँ चली जाइए 5 खंडी गाँव स्थान भी आउ नाही रिलीफ कमिशनर रेवेन्यू का डाटा अनुसार 10,313 जन 1999 मसीहा महाबात्यारे निश्चिन्न हो गले तेबे यह दुर्विपाक दैव दुर्विपाक ना मनुष्यकृत मु गीतारू श्लोकटिए कहवा चाहिए कर्मयोगरु यज्ञात भवति पर्जन्य पर्जन्याद अन्न संभव अन्नात् भवति भूतानि यज्ञाय कृत निश्चय जेतेबेले एक कथा मध्य कहा जायछि जलवायु विषय गीतारे जे यज्ञ जदि करा जाए ताहले जो साकल्य एवं घी उपरकू जीव ताहा जदि ଜଳକଣାରେ ମିଶିବ ଏବଂ ସେଥିରୁ ଯଦି ବର୍ଷା ହେବ ତା ଦ୍ୱାରା ଯେଉଁ ଅନ୍ନ ହେବ ତାକୁ ପ୍ରାଣୀ ଖାଇକରି ସେମାନେ ଜୀବନ ଧାରଣ କରିବେ ଏବଂ ପରେ ସୃଷ୍ଟିର ପ୍ରକ୍ରିୟା ଏବଂ ପ୍ରଜନନ ଚାଲିବ, ଏହା ଗୀତା କହିଛି। ଏବଂ 1913 ମସିହାରେ ଆପଣ ଯଦି ଦେଖିବେ ଦୁଇଟି ରାଜ୍ୟ କର୍ଣ୍ଣାଟକ ଏବଂ ଆନ୍ଧ୍ରପ୍ରଦେଶ ଯଜ୍ଞ କରିବା ପାଇଁ ଶାରୀରିକ ମାନସିକ ଏବଂ କାୟିକ ସ୍ତରରେ ଏବଂ ସରକାରୀ ସ୍ତରରେ ନିଷ୍ପତ୍ତି ନିଆଯାଇଥିଲା। ଯଜ୍ଞ ମାନେ ନୁହେଁ କେବଳ ଯାଇ ଘୃତ ଢାଳିବା, ଯଜ୍ଞ ମାନେ ଆକ୍ସନ୍ ପଏଣ୍ଟ। ନାବାର୍ଡ଼ର ଅଧିକାରୀ ଭାବରେ ନୁହେଁ, କିନ୍ତୁ ଯେହେତୁ ଅଛି ସେହେତୁ ଆଜି ଆପଣଙ୍କ ସହିତ କେତେ ଗୁଡ଼ିଏ ଇନଫର୍ମେସନ୍ ସେୟାର କରିବାକୁ ଚେଷ୍ଟା କରିବି। ଆଜ୍ ଅନ୍ ଡେଟ୍ NABARD is the National Accredited Agency for Adaptation Fund and Green Climate Fund. And I am presuming that all of us were aware about UN Charter, all of us were aware about Kyoto Protocol, and all of us were aware about the climate change under the action points. ମୁଁ ସୀମିତ ଭାବରେ କହିବାକୁ ଚାହୁଁଛି, ସାଧାରଣ କଥା, ଯେତେବେଳେ ସୂର୍ଯ୍ୟ କିରଣ ଧରାପୃଷ୍ଠରେ ପଡ଼େ ତା ଭିତରେ ଯେଉଁ ବିଭିନ୍ନ ଲେୟାର ଅଛି ତା ଭିତରେ ଗୋଟେ ହେଉଛି O3 ଓଜୋନ୍ 3 ଏବଂ ତା ଭିତରେ ଯେତେବେଳେ ନାଇଟ୍ରୋଜେନ୍ ଅନ୍ୟାନ୍ୟ ଗ୍ରୀନ୍ ଗ୍ୟାସ୍ ବଢ଼ି ଚାଲେ ସେତେବେଳେ ଅଲ୍ଟ୍ରାଭାয়োଲେଟ୍ରେ କେବଳ ଆସେ ଏବଂ ତା ଦ୍ୱାରା ଶରୀରର କ୍ଷତି ହୁଏ ଏବଂ ଯେପର୍ଯ୍ୟନ୍ତ ବୀଜାଣୁ ବା ଜୀବାଣୁ ମରିନାହାନ୍ତି ପୃଥିବୀ ପୃଷ୍ଠରେ ତାହା ଆମର କ୍ଲାଇମେଟ୍ ଚେଞ୍ଜରେ ସମସ୍ୟା କରେ। ତେଣୁ ଏ ଯେଉଁ ଗ୍ୟାସ୍ ବଢ଼ୁଛି ଏ ଗ୍ୟାସ୍କୁ ପ୍ରୋତ୍ସାହନ କିଏ ଦେଉଛି? ବିଭିନ୍ନ କାରଣ ରହିଛି, ମାଇନିଂ, ବ୍ରାକିସ୍ ୱାଟର, ଏୟାର ଟ୍ରାନ୍ସଫର୍ସ, ଏୟାର ଟ୍ରାଭେଲ। ତେଣୁ ଇଏ ସବୁ ଆମର କାର୍ବନ ଫୁଟପ୍ରିଣ୍ଟ ବଢ଼େଇ ଚାଲୁଛନ୍ତି। ଏସବୁ ପ୍ରିଜ୍ୟୁମ୍ କରୁଛନ୍ତି, ଆପଣମାନେ ଜାଣିଛନ୍ତି। ଏବଂ ଦୁଇଟା ଜିନିଷ ରହୁଛି, ଆକୁ ମିଟିଗେଟ୍ କରିବା ପାଇଁ ଯାହା ଯାହା କରାଯାଇପାରେ ତାହା ହେଲା ମିଟିଗେସନ୍ ମେଜର୍ସ ଏବଂ ଆଡପ୍ଟ କରାଯିବ ଯେଉଁ ଯେଉଁ କାର୍ଯ୍ୟକ୍ରମ ତାହା ହେଲା ଆଡପ୍ଟେସନ୍ ମେଜର୍ସ। କ'ଣ କ'ଣ କଲେ, ଧରାଯାଉ ଧାନ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆମେ କରୁଛେ, ସାଧାରଣ ଧାନ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଚାଷ କରାଯାଏ ସେଥିରୁ ଯେଉଁ ଗ୍ୟାସ୍ ବାହାରେ ମିଥେନ୍, ପ୍ରୋପେନ୍, ଏଇଟା ଆମର କ୍ଲାଇମେଟ୍ ଚେଞ୍ଜରେ ବଡ଼ ପ୍ରଦୂଷଣ କରିଥାଏ। ତେଣୁ ତା ପାଇଁ ଟେକ୍ନୋଲୋଜି କ'ଣ? ତାମିଲନାଡୁ ଏଗ୍ରିକଲଚର ୟୁନିଭର୍ସିଟି କହିଲା ଯେ SRI ଟେକ୍ନୋଲୋଜି ଫଲୋ କରାଯାଉ, ସିଷ୍ଟେମିକ୍ ରାଇସ୍ ଇଣ୍ଟେନ୍ସିଫିକେସନ୍। ଇଏ ଗୋଟେ କ୍ଲାଇମେଟ୍ ଚେଞ୍ଜର ମେଜରମେଣ୍ଟ। ତେଣୁ ଆମେ ସେଟାକୁ ବଢ଼ାवा ଦେଉଛୁ। ଆଉ କ'ଣ କ'ଣ ମେଜର ରହିଲା? ୱାଟର ସେଟ୍ ଡେଭଲପମେଣ୍ଟ, ସଏଲ୍ ଆଣ୍ଡ ୱାଟର କନଜରଭେସନ୍, ୱାଡ଼ି ପ୍ରିପାରେସନ୍, ୱାଡ଼ି ଡେଭଲପମେଣ୍ଟ, କମାଣ୍ଡ ଏରିଆ ଡେଭଲପମେଣ୍ଟ, ଗଳା ନାଲେ ଚ୍ୟାଲେଞ୍ଜିଂ, ରେନ୍ ୱାଟର ହାର୍ଭେଷ୍ଟିଂ। ଏଗୁଡ଼ା ସବୁ ହେଲା ଆମର ପ୍ରିଭେଣ୍ଟିଭ୍ ମେଜର୍ସ। ଆମେ କ'ଣ କ'ଣ କରିପାରିବା? ଆଡପ୍ଟେସନ୍ ମେଜର କ'ଣ ହେବ? ଧରାଯାଉ ଆମର ପ୍ରୋଜେକ୍ଟ ସୁନ୍ଦରବନ ଏରିଆରେ ଆମର ଯେଉଁ ପ୍ରୋଜେକ୍ଟ ଚାଲିଛି ବ୍ରାକିସ୍ ୱାଟରରୁ ଆମେ କ'ଣ କଲେ ଜଳ ପ୍ରଦୂଷଣ ହେବ ନାହିଁ? ଚିଲିକାରେ ବ୍ରାକିସ୍ ୱାଟରରେ ପ୍ରନ୍ ଆଉ ନକରି ଆଉ କ'ଣ କଲେ ପ୍ରନ୍ ହେଇପାରିବ କିନ୍ତୁ ଆମର ଜଳ ପ୍ରଦୂଷଣ ହେବ ନାହିଁ? ଏସବୁ ଯେଉଁ ପ୍ରୋଜେକ୍ଟ ହେଉଛି ଏସବୁ ଆଡପ୍ଟେସନ୍ ଫଣ୍ଡରୁ ହେଉଛି। ତେଣୁ ଗ୍ରୀନ୍ କ୍ଲାଇମେଟ୍ ଫଣ୍ଡ, ଆଡପ୍ଟେସନ୍ ଫଣ୍ଡ, ଏ ଦୁଇଟି ଫଣ୍ଡର ଯେଉଁ ଆକ୍ରିଡିଟେଡ୍ ଏଜେନ୍ସି ହେଉଛି NABARD। ଆମେ ବିଭିନ୍ନ ସମୟରେ ବିଭିନ୍ନ ପ୍ରୋଜେକ୍ଟ ସାଙ୍କସନ୍ କରିଥାଉ ଏବଂ ତାର ଗାଇଡ଼ଲାଇନ୍ ଆଭେଲେବୁଲ୍। ଆଗେ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଚର୍ଚ୍ଚା କରିବା, ପ୍ରଶ୍ନ ଆସିଲେ ଆମେ ତାକୁ ସମୀକ୍ଷା କରିବା। ତେବେ ମୁଁ ସ୍ଥିର ନିଶ୍ଚିତ ଯେ କ୍ଲାଇମେଟ୍ ଚେଞ୍ଜ ବା ଆମର ଯେଉଁ ଜଳବାୟୁ ଅଛି ତାର ପରିବର୍ତ୍ତନରେ କେମିତି ଭାବରେ ଅଦିନରେ ଆମ୍ବ ଆସୁଛି। ଆମେ ଜାଣିଛେ, କବିତାରେ ଆମେ ପଢ଼ିଛେ ଯେ ଆମର ତ 6ଟା ଋତୁ, ସେଥିରେ ଶରତ ଆଉ ହେମନ୍ତ ଆଜିକାଲି ଦେଖାଯାଉନାହାନ୍ତି। ଏବଂ ହିନ୍ଦୀ ଭାଷାରେ ମୁଁ କହେ ଯେ 4ଟା ଋତୁ, ପତଝଡ଼, ସାवन, ବସନ୍ତ, ବାହାର ଆଣ୍ଡ 5वा ମୌସମ ପ୍ୟାର। ଆଉ 5वा ମୌସମ କେଉଁ ସାହିତ୍ୟ ଚର୍ଚ୍ଚା ହେଉଛି ଯେ 5वा ମୌସମରେ ଥାଏ ତାକୁ ପତଝଡ଼, ସାवन ଆଉ ବସନ୍ତ, ବାହାର କିଛି ଜଣାପଡ଼େ ନାହିଁ। କିନ୍ତୁ ଏଭଳି ଋତୁ ପରିବର୍ତ୍ତନ ଆମେ ଆଉ ଅନୁଭବ କରୁଛୁ କି? ବହୁତ ରାଜ୍ୟରେ, ଆମ ରାଜ୍ୟରେ ବି ହ୍ୟୁମିଡ୍ ଅଧିକା, ଗରମ ଅଧିକା, ବର୍ଷା ଅଧିକା, ଟ୍ରପିକାଲ ଏରିଆ ଏବଂ ଓଡ଼ିଶାରେ ଇମ୍ପ୍ୟାକ୍ଟ କ'ଣ କ'ଣ ହେଇପାରିବ ଭବିଷ୍ୟତରେ କ୍ଲାଇମେଟ୍ ଚେଞ୍ଜର, ଯେଉଁ ଫଳରେ ମୁଁ ଭବିଷ୍ୟତରେ କବିତା ଲେଖିବି ନାହିଁ ଯେ ଓଡ଼ିଶାରେ ମହାବାତ୍ୟା ଯେତେ କାଳ ଥିବ, ଗୋପବନ୍ଧୁ ଦାସ ତୁମକୁ ଓଡ଼ିଶା କେବେ ନ ଭୁଲିବ, କେବେ ନ ଭୁଲିବ, କେବେ ନ ଭୁଲିବ। ଜୟ ଜଗନ୍ନାଥ, ଜୟ ଜଗନ୍ନାଥ। ସତ୍ୟ ଭାଇ।
Actually, all along I thought that climate change is a function of prosperity. I was surprised to come out of the data that the carbon emission in Odisha is higher than the average of India. It is 2.35 tons per capita, whereas India's per capita is 1.75 tons. But don't get worried by that, because it happens because Odisha is a power surplus state and it generates electricity from coal. Just like China manufactures for the whole world and has got a per capita 4 tons of carbon emission, similarly Odisha generates electricity for neighboring areas, etc. and it is 2.35 ton against 1.75 ton all India. Second thing, the state is extremely vulnerable to climate change. Extremely. The number one reason for this is the high poverty level. Even today, after the reduction of poverty, it is 33%, which is one of the highest in the country. And if the climate change takes place, these people get affected the maximum. And they won't have the adaptive capacity to cope with climate change. The second one is a large number of indigenous people who depend on our environment, forest, etc. The third thing is our natural resource dependency in the state. These three things make the state extremely vulnerable. And coming back to, let's say, first thing, in livelihood and agriculture, it is like to suffer because Western Odisha, Southern Western Odisha, Northern Western Odisha are going to warm up substantially. Coastal will be delayed slightly. The temperature will be slightly delayed. And when it warms up and with completely unpredictable and uneven distribution of rainfall, drought is inevitable. So the production from agriculture will be less. People working outdoor will be less. So naturally the earning power will get affected. That is one part. The second part is the natural calamities like the cyclone. You can see that during the last 2 years you have seen several cyclones. Earlier one cyclone used to come once a year or something like that. Now every year you hear the cyclone alert for about 2-3 cyclones. Then the storm surge, which will inundate land. Third thing is shoreline erosion, which will take place. So these are the disturbing facts, and in livelihood, fisheries will be affected. And Odisha had traditionally a completely different role for the carbon sequestration. It has got 3.5% of the population of India. It has got 5% land mass. Out of the 5% land mass, 40% is forest. 39.7 or something like that is forest, which is a very large area. It helped in sequestering carbon, the carbon which is generated, etc. It used to get trapped there. Now they say that 40% still continues, but looking at many of the forests, I go to the forest area often now, I can say that they are not the forests which I saw during my childhood. They cannot sequester carbon. It's okay to show statistics. Okay. The dense forest that I have seen and what I see today, several stumps standing there, someone has planted them and maybe watered for some time. That is not comparable. Now, look at your rainfall pattern. Number one is we had a monsoon season of 120 days. Now it is reduced to 60 to 70 days. We 225 to 250 mm rainfall precipitation are becoming more frequent. That means flood. If there is flood, please understand that the society which depends on pisciculture aquamarine, this thing, etc., it will get affected. Okay. Both brackish water as well as the fresh water, they have to get affected. So what do you do? What do you do? And if you have got this kind of rainfall, you will have residual moisture for the rabi crop much less. Okay. So rabi crop will be affected. Forest, kharif gets affected because of the floods. Because of the residual moisture being less, your rabi crop gets affected. So it threatens the livelihood of a large number of people in Odisha. The indigenous people, the poor people, which is probably the largest this thing here. Abhijit Banerjee, in his book Good Economics in Bad Time, he brings out a beautiful point. He says there is a 50-10 rule in climate change. 10% of the world, 10% of every country are responsible for 50% damage or 50% greenhouse gas emission. Greenhouse gas emission doesn't come only from moving around in the cars. If you have got, let's say, 100 certs in your house, okay, please understand, to manufacture those certs, greenhouse gas has been emitted. Electricity was generated, run those machines, and electricity meant coal. Coal means when electricity was being generated, greenhouse gas was being emitted. So our lifestyle is a big problem too. And in Odisha it is bound to happen because we are at such a low level of this thing that everyone is aspiring to get to a level in which he can see the goodies of life. So it was 2.35 tons. In no time it will become another 10 years. It will probably become about close to 3 tons. Okay. Globally it is fine. Globally it should be around 7 tons. But United States does about 20 tons. Europe does about 16 tons. And that's why someone will have to reduce it. And so our lifestyle is a big problem. Because in future, our lifestyle will make sure that greenhouse emission. Odisha has done a good job in terms of state action plan in climate change. I just wish that state action plan is implemented with all its sincerity and seriousness. Because solution to a problem comes only when you recognize the problem. So far as the state is concerned, they have recognized the problem. But are they doing anything after that? It has come out recently, 2018 to 2023. There was an action plan. Adaptation, we got to have climate change like this drought resistant crops coming up. He referred to SRIs, and those kind of things will have to come because one part of your state will be flood affected, another part of the state will be drought affected. Okay. Similarly, flood resistant crop will require. And the adaptation is one part. Then there comes the mitigation part of it. Mitigation, the calculation is the state requires 78,000 crores to do it. Don't get foxed by these figures. Okay. These figures are not very used. As business as usual, they will get 38,000 crores in their state budget under different government of India schemes, etc. They got to find out something of the order of another 33,000 crores, which is not a big deal, provided you have got the resolve to solve the problem for mitigation. Now comes, what do you do with regard to renewables? With renewables, your carbon emission will come down. But in Odisha particularly has got a problem. In the long shoreline of 450 kilometers, extremely vulnerable is about 75 kilometers out of that. But in that shoreline, whatever windmills you put, it should be able to negotiate with the super cyclones of 250 kilometers. I remember my professor in Delhi University telling he was teaching, what is the novel? Hawthorne's novel. Uh, Hawthorne's novel, which is based on New England. No, Hawthorne, old classic. I'm forgetting that novel. But he used to say, look at the scenery of Kerala or look at the scenery of Odisha. It's a character by itself. That was the differentiating nature of our environment. That environment will get damaged, and with environment, the people who live in that environment will also be affected. Okay. So thank you.
Thank you, Satya bhai. Samudra vasane devi parvata stanamandale Vishnu Bhakti namastubhyam padasparsam tamasvame pratasmana. Our country full of greeneries. But then let me go to our neighboring state, which I headed for 3 years, Chhattisgarh. If you see from Bargarh onwards, Bargarh, Sonpur, Balangir, unka shaadi byah, it happens with Mahasamund, Bilaspur. So that is called Kosal area. I came to know that Kausalya was born in near Raipur. So that is why that is Kosal. I also saw that there is only one temple where Rama and Sita are there and nobody else is there. Because the father of Kausalya, he adopted Rama and gave that Rajya to them. Now, why I am telling all these things? I named Chhattisgarh as a state of 44, 44 and 44. 44% population is scheduled caste, scheduled tribe. 44% land is forest and 44 degrees the temperature in which the state works. I will take you to Ramayana. Out of 14 years of Vanvas, Ram stayed there for 10 months, 10 years and 4 months. And when Ram gave a fal, a fruit to Sita, that became Sitapal. It happened in Kanker. If you have seen Kanker to Dantewada, Kanker to Chitraput, this is the area which is Bastar area. I have travelled, they can't bridge, it is to be seen. And as he told, 40% of the land is for it is nothing new. Even Jaipur, etc. I have gone through, and some of my NGO friends, those who work in Mohapatra, they also work in Chhattisgarh. And when Sita was taken away by Ravana, what Rama and Lakshman did, Tulsidas, Tire tire sariti sariti smadare smadare cha grame grame nagare nagare prantare prantare cha kunje kunje vipine vipine kandare kandare cha branta branta tanurupi मेखिता पापी सीता. सीता को ढूंढते ढूंढते उन्होंने सीताफल का बीज कांकेर से महानदी तक, महानदी से मनियारी तक, मनियार से कोरबा, कोरबा से कांकेर, दांतेवाड़ा नदी के साइड पे जितना नदी था वहां लगाते गए और वाइल्ड सीताफल केम आउट. नाउ व्हाट वी डिड, बिकॉज इट हैज टू कन्वर्ट इट इनटू मनी. माय बैंकर फ्रेंड्स आर सिटिंग हियर. मनी मनी मनी, ब्राइटर देन सनशाइन, स्वीटर देन हनी. यू डोंट एक्सप्लॉइट the nature, but still you get money. You convert the pulp of a custard apple to, send it to Gulf. And custard apple which was selling 20 rupees per bori, per kg pulp is sold in Dubai and other places at 300 rupees per today. This is Sitapal. Next, Jimmican. Jimmican you put inside. And after 2 years you do it, whatever is your, Jimmican is nothing but your potato, elephant potato. We called it in various names. And it has medicinal value. So whatever was being sold at 10 rupees here, we could link at 80 rupees at Bombay. And we developed, we developed a rap on that. It is like Mike and Jackson, which has been done by Rajanandgaon. And we did convert that into FPO. And we did convert FPO of Sitafal and Jimmican. I will take a time just so that you see and hear that. It is available in YouTube. Give him a big hand, give him a big hand. See, the point is, many Odia, you say Rangha, it is a Odia word. If you say go to Raipur, it is more or Raipur. So it is a mixture of Hindi. Chhattisgarh is a mixture of Hindi and Odia. So you see, if you speak pure Odia also, they will understand. My point is, without exploiting the nature, you can all do this. But the third one is jackfruits. You convert into money and you send it. Fourth one is wild imli, tamarind. We pack it. When you have 1 kilo, it is 35 rupees. If you pack, it is 1 kilo is 140 rupees. Kerala, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, and Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, they cannot run a single day without sambar, and without imli it is not possible. So we converted this non-timber forest products into money. And last but not least, the honey. If we convert the mahua into honey and we gave it to Prime Minister Modi in Bijapur, 600 rupees per kilo. And what is more than that, I was surprised, and it is my learning. The venom of the honeybee is selling 1,40,000 per kilo. That is the cost. It is converted into money, and it is used in the medicine. Now, but then if you do enough, then I will again take to Ramayana. Asambhavam hema mrugasya janma tathapi ramo lulubhe mrugaya praya samapanne vipatti kale dhiyom pirpunsa malina bhavanti. असंभव है मृगस्य जन्म. सोने का हिरण ऐसा आ सकता है, कभी पॉसिबल नहीं है. फिर भी न नाभिराम हृदय विराम पुरुषोत्तम दौड़ गए सीता के बात में. तो हम क्या है, पत्नी जब बोलता है हम सोना और साड़ी खरीदने के लिए दौड़ते हैं. इट इज कॉमन. सो exploitation when it starts where in northern Chhattisgarh there has to be a tremor. In southern Chhattisgarh, that is Bastar. You cannot say that I will keep quiet and you go on exploiting the minerals. And if you see all the companies, Balco, SEC, Ambul Cement, Steels, all are lining up there. If you see coal mines also, Chirmiri coal mines comes and 350 springs were dried up. We cannot do it undo, but you can do a thing. We did request, we did use the force, please pay. Pay for whatever damage you have done, convert your CSR fund, let me add something, adopt some villages, go for adaptation fund, let us go for that. So this is called the work. Jagyad bhavati parjanya, parjannad anna sambhava, annad bhavati bhutani, jagyaya kruta nischaya. Jagya is action, thought, word and action. And if it has happened, it will reverse the process. All these companies, they joined with us and we are doing the CSR project so that more and more climate change adaptations are taken. If it is the Arpa Nadi, and on which there are so many stories in Ramayana, if you go today in Bilaspur, you cannot see a river. There are many rivers which is full of only, the Dala and Eso Bhartiyeji. That will clean Korea. So we have sanctioned a climate change project. Arpan Dev can safa karaijibo, ebong seti kemti tourism project karaijibo. Se sob vyavastha karaijibo. Teno adaptation. Then when I tell the bank to finance, there has to be an IRR of minimum 15%. So there has to be some return. Any investment do in economic terms, return has to come. So otherwise I am not with you. Anna bihune ansahani yoga se divu kageni dhanarjane dharma kari dharme prapata narahari. Unless we earn, how can we there be dharma? Even dharma is that what is the nation wants. Now I agree with him, I just support from the data. India is the 6th largest vulnerable country in the climate index from the top. Now that needs to be addressed by both adaptation and mitigation funds. So how do you do that? One more intervention which has happened here, and we have done that. Saura Sujala Yojana. Solar pumps. I am going straight away for climate adoption and agriculture. Now solar pumps, you need irrigation. Whatever you say, जब सामाजिक, I strongly believe सामाजिक कार्यक्रम हो सकता है, but सामाजिक श्रृंखला के प्रतिष्ठा के लिए सामाजिक न्याय होना आवश्यकता है. कोई सेकंड ओपिनियन नहीं है. But सामाजिक न्याय का प्रतिष्ठा के लिए economic justice has also to be established, and for that economic discipline is a must. You cannot go on exploring and exploiting everything that hydroelectricity or whatever has been done. So, Surya, भास्कर साहब बैठे हैं यहाँ, भास्कर परिचय हमारा मित्र बैठे हैं. जवा कुसुम संकासम काश्यपेयं महादुतिं धन्त्वारि सर्व पापघ्नं प्रणतोस्मि दिवाकरम. सूर्य सकल शक्तिर आधार. से शक्ति को नहीं करी हमें 50,000 पंप सेट बसैलु एवं सोलार पैनल दिया गला. 3,000 टका फार्मर को दवा पड़िबो. हे किसान, तू अपने मित्र को पहचान. एवं सेथिरे से आज एक फसल करूथला, इंद्रावती कुल रे 2 फसल कला, 2 फसल करूथला, सुगार केन कला. जहां जोडी हमर खरीफ और रबी अछि आ जोटी सुगार कोन हुए तीनटा क्रॉप मो बैंकर भाई माने जानिचंती. जेतेबेले केसीसी जा जाए क्रेडिट कार्ड रे सेतेबेले विभिन्न तोर खरीफ और स्केल ऑफ फाइनेंस करा जाए. कोन ऋतु रे कोन चाष करछु से अनुसार मु करबी. जो माने जानि नथांती बाहर पाटी तुंडा कर दे बैंक मैनेजर को गाली देउथि कि तोर क्रॉस हे वाला 18 मास भीतर जो नदी तो एमपी हेइबो. तेणु मोर पैसा जहाँ को डिपोजिट कर मनु भाई बैंक अकाउंट रे सेटा फेरबार अछि. आज जदि ब्रांड नहीं करी किए भागी जाउची बा जिए किछि पत्थर बिकी करी भागी जाउची बा गोटे संस्था को नहीं करी लंदन में रहउची. मोर जो स्वयं सहायता समूह बा जेल जे मु करछि जो माने क्लाइमेट चेंज पे काम करूचंती एवं से माने डायरेक्ट डेवलपमेंट पे करूचंती आउट एरिया करूचंती. सेटा होची जोटा विभिन्न समय रे हमर जो सब होची प्रदूषण हमर जो लेफ्ट आउट जोड़ा सब हमर होची जो वेस्टेज, हाउ टू मैनेज वेस्टेज. फॉर दैट आल्सो वी हैव एन FPO. I will share with Mahasamud FPO what it does, that in the waste itself they develop the vermicompost, biopesticides, biofertilizer. Now what happens there? The things that they are producing, that is earthworm and other things which they are exporting through, of course I should not advocate right now because corona has come, but then to Thailand, Malaysia in dollars, because there is a delicacy of earthworm. But apart from that, there has to be a convergence with forest department who are purchasing this particular wastage at 6 rupees per kg, which is helping in my cost capital. So it is a convergence model. Sugandhim, Pushti Varadhanam. So third one, you see Bilaspur, Durg or Raipur. We have financed the waste management, if you have seen Goa and other things. So waste management itself, that can be developed as a road. You make them the cakes and it can be the road. You put all these plastics and polythenes and you press it, that can become the bricks. So these are the mitigation measures and these are the adaptation measures which can be financed and they can be grand projects. But then रात अंधेरी कंटक पथे गीत निराश की मत गाना साहस की ध्रुव ज्योति जलाकर ध्येय शिखर पर बढ़ते जाना क्योंकि पथ का अंतिम लक्ष्य नहीं है जंगल में रहना. उनको आपको अल्टरनेटिव देना पड़ेगा. This alternative has to be given, and not only that, health also. You see, climate change and health. There is an article, beautiful article by P.K. Mishra. I will request you to go through from University of Punjab and Odisha. He has written everything, how the coastal area is functioning. Now the question is, in these areas, in health also is very important. How do you do that? So for example, we called BARC, Bhaba Atomic Research Center. What is that got done with the climate change? There is. In Rajmanga we developed. Bhaba Atomic Research Center, they can develop missile, they can also help in risk mitigation measures. The mango, the jamu, these are the non-timber forest birds. The mango we developed. For example, those who are in Lucknow or those who have seen Dasari mango, that comes in July. And by July, the Gujaratis and Jains, they don't take mango because it will have insect. But then there is a market has to be created in Wadi area of Chhattisgarh. So, ମୁଁ जोटा कहूଥିଲି bark आको आमे नेलु एवं सेमाने कहले आपण जदि भी जेमु भी जान नथली आमे जोटा डे टू डे इंजेक्शन होत एवरीथिंग इट हैज टू गो थ्रू द Bhaba Atomic Research Center. Everything has to come in a truck and it should be radiated. Then only we get all these sanitized things. Nobody else can do it. Similarly, the mangoes have to run their radiation system, which will be stamped there, and it can be protected for 7 months, which can be export variety. So I want to see money, which Manu Das also sees money
in mango. I also see jamu, which can be protected for 7 months. And it will come a climate change, which also money, brighter than sunshine, sweeter than honey. Money is required to, and economy is required. Then only there can be Sahitya Charcha. So climate change is required to adopt and to have risk mitigation measures, adaptation measures, and funds are available. Please visit our website and you please see the guidelines, and we are there to support you how to build up the projects. And I am sure that in Odisha this will come. Why I am telling this? In a state like Odisha, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana and Chhattisgarh, there cannot be peace. Shanti hai pariboni. Apna kahi paribeni je sethi bahare jo bhikari achi se khaiba ku pauni a me chicken dabuche tar reaction hobo na. For example, NTPC project in Raipur. Se kahe ame tomar kichi corona khali light dei boschu. अरे से स्त्री लोक झाड़ा जाऊँ तुम लाइट 10टा बेले देखा ना तार टॉयलेट नहीं यू हैव टू बिल्ड अप द टॉयलेट देयर दिस इज आल्सो ह्यूमन क्लाइमेट प्रॉब्लम सो यू कैनॉट से दैट आई विल गो ऑन डेवलपिंग एंड आई एम नॉट अफेक्टेड इट इज अफेक्टेड एनटीपीसी प्रोजेक्ट जो आसूची तुम फ्लड लाइट लगाऊच सिक्यूरीटी गार्ड रखिकी मोर जो रही ट्राइबल लेडीटा से झाड़ा जा पारे दिस इज अ प्रॉब्लम एंड देयर हैज टू बी बाउंड टू बी रिवोल्यूशन सिमिलरली इफ यू वांट दैट ह्यूमन क्लाइमेट इज टू बी बैलेंस्ड इफ यू वांट social justice and social discipline is to be established, then economic justice and economic discipline has to be established. And जो कड़ी है ये है आज का जो थिंकिंग पावर है एस.एन. मिश्रा है, अमरेश दास है, अमरेश पटनायक है, समरेंद्र दास है और बट हुसेवर एंड सत्य भाई है. So ओम सहना भवतु. I remember financial inclusion. If you see 2008 Reserve Bank guideline, माननीय उषा थोराट दी then Deputy Governor who addressed the Millennium speech in Bank of Ceylon, she has written, I am confused how to define financial inclusion. आर्थिक समावेशन को कैसा डिफाइन करना है and she has quoted कठोपनिषद ओम सहना भवतु आमे एक संगरे जीवा ओम सहनो भुनक्तु आमे एक संगरे खाइबा सहवीर्यम करवा मही केही कहा विरुद्ध रे कुष्ठारटना करिवा नाही तेजस्विना बधितमस्तु जी तेजस्वी अच्छी ताकू आम आप्रिसीएट करवा आम मान भर कहबी ना आई एम बी अप्रोजाइजिंग ओडिया देढ़ ओडिया ये गोटे शब्द सब चली आसी किंतु आज हुए तो नहीं पारे आमर आप्रिसीएसन परस्पर आप्रिसीएसन क्वालिटी बड़ कष्टदायक तेजस्विना बधितमस्तु माँ विद्वेषामही क्या विरुद्ध कहार विद्वेष न रो तेरे जाके शांति प्रचेषा हो एवं जे पर्यंत शांति प्रचेषा होना से पर्यंत ये सब प्रचेषा रिवोल्यूशन बा विप्लव को जीव यह मोर द्वितीय निवेदन. जय जगन्नाथ जय जगन्नाथ जय जगन्नाथ. ओवर टू सत्य.
Nothing much. I think if there is any question,
yes, we will have.
ये कथा आमर
महापात्र सर
महापात्र जहाँ कहले माइक शेष को कहले मुझे प्रश्नटा पचार था कि बर्तमान तो चाइना रे एते सोलार सेल तैयार कर सोलार सेल सब ये करमर ये जोटा कहले जे विंड मिल द्वारा अफेक्टेड हो बात्या द्वारा से तो द्वारका पटे सब कर विंड मिल अफेक्टेड हो तो बहुत
West Coast is not
वेस्ट कोस्ट बहुत मतलब एयर फोर्स
West Coast is not cyclone prone.
ना साइक्लोन प्रोन तो ये साइक्लोन हो सब बारंबार साइक्लोन हो विंड्र स्पीड आमर एपट अपेक्षा बेसी विंड स्पीड आगे बेसी सेपटे द्वारका पटे कि तथापि से विंड मिल सक्सेसफुल होती आमर विंड मिल लगिला खराब हो गला ताले आम सोलार एनर्जी कहीं डेभलप न करवा एवं केवल से नुहे बर्तमान गोटे इम्पोर्टाट कथा जे आमर ओडिशा रे क्लाइमेट इकोनॉमिक्स फैक्टर रे जब जो विषयटा आपण कहते जे लोक मैंने अफेक्टेड हो साइक्लोन द्वारा बा फ्लड द्वारा बा ये जो ये द्वारा जदि अल्टरनेटिव माने एग्रीकल्चर करेंगे अल्टरनेटिव एग्रीकल्चर न कले सस्टेनेंस हेनी तार कारण हूँ धरत फाइक्लोन होगला सब भांगीगला सब नष्ट होगा फसलटा ताले से कौन करेंगे सरकार कौन सब वर्ष सब्सिडी खाया रखिपारे एत बड़ पपुलेसन सो दैट्स व्हाई सम अल्टरनेटिव एग्रीकल्चर गोटे कथा सो अल्टरनेटिवली देयर इज नो स्टोरेज होने कोल्ड स्टोरेज होनी जो सोलार एनर्जी व्यापक व्यवहार करी जदि आम इलेक्ट्रिक एनर्जी व्यवस्था कमे दे पारिबा ताल मु भावुची जे हमर ए जो नेचुरल जो हाजार्ड सब हमर आसुची कमी जीव एक दुई रे एग्रीकल्चर ग्रोथ हो पार पोस्ट एग्रीकल्चर जो एक्टिविटीज पोस्ट एग्रीकल्चर एक्टिविटीज ओडिशा नथिबारु सरकार तरफ ना कि किछि नाही मंडी नाही किछि नाही ता फल लोक मानकर दारिद्र्य बढ़ुची से कि मु भावुची पोस्ट एग्रीकल्चर एक्टिविटीज ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ सोलार एनर्जी शुड बी डेवलप माने छोट छोट प्रति जगार जो कर्प रिजर्भर बा फ्रूट रिजर्भर वेजिटेबल रिजर्भर आपन जो कहते आंब आंब तो मैंने गाई गोरु खाइबे बिलाती बर्तमान गाई गोरु खाऊँ कोबी गाई गोरु खाऊँ अच्छा मार्केटिंग केमती मार्केटिंग व्यवस्था नहीं से दृष्टि नाबार्ड कौन किसी व्यवस्था करी मुझे आज्ञा आप पचार चाहूँ
एक्चुअली सत्य भाई जोटा कहवाक चाहते सहित एकमत प्रथम आप दुईटा प्रश्न अच्छी प्रथम प्रश्न हूँ बात्या ओडिशा रे बेंगल रे तमिलनाडु रे एवं आंध्र प्रदेश रे बात्या आदौ हो न था जदि बंगोपसागर न था प्रथम उत्तर द्वितीय उत्तर हूँ जदि अंडमान पाखरे आम आग्नेयगिरी जदि माटी तले न था समुद्र रे ताहाले मध्य बात्या हो न था एणु ये जो व्यवस्थाटी आमर अच्छी जेपर्यंत बंगोपसागर आम सहित रही से पर्यंत बन्या बात्या हम आप 1979 मसीहार जदि मन पकेबे बोथ बेंगल्स आई विल नॉट से वेस्ट बेंगल और बांग्लादेश 1979 मसीहा भयंकर बात्या एवं भयंकर बन्या हुआ केवल बे ऑफ बेंगल पाई एटा एमती तार स्थान एमती रही ओल्ले 180 डिग्री 190 डिग्री रे जो सेठू जो बात्याटा होती बुली बुली आसूँ तार जिते थर आप देखिए से जोड़ा कहले सत्य भाई आरब सागर जो आरब सागर तार जमी किसी होना जो सबुठार बड़ होता है से आसी किसी कलानी जदि आपंकर पूर्णिमा बा अमावास्या थी जदि अमावास्या थी किसी हेनी समुद्र जमी बम्बे रोचे समुद्र पा भर पड़ोची अमावास्या दिन जदि थी किसी हेनी पूर्णिमा दिन जब वर्षा हम ताले बम्बे भासीज यहाँ है आपंकर जियोग्राफी कमिंग टू सेकेंड पॉइंट यू हैव वैलिड पॉइंट फॉर एवरीथिंग देयर हैज टू बी मार्केटिंग देयर हैज टू बी अल्टरनेटिव मार्केटिंग ओडिशा और अन्य राज्य भितर मुझे दुईटा प्रश्न आपको रखुच्छी प्रथम हूँ एथर मुझे फार्मर सुइसाइड कथा आनी फार्मर सुइसाइड कौटी कौटी होची आज सेठी होची महाराष्ट्र रे पंजाब रे एवं केरल जो माने उन्नत राज्य जोटी अधिका एग्रीकल्चर प्रोडक्शन होची सेठी काहे की होची कारण से माने जेतबेले बड़ आकार करूचंती एवं जदि ताका सहित प्रतिकूल प्रतिभाव होची से माने जेतबेले फेरई पारुनाती सेथिपाई किछि सुइसाइड करूचंती 5838 ए वर्ष जो सुइसाइड होची एथुर 1300 किसान केवल सुइसाइड करछन जोटा क्रेडिट जनित बाकी सब अन्य कारण पुओ दुईटा पल्सर किणला बापर शक्ति नहीं देवाई झील को बाहा कला 40 लाख खर्च कर बापर शक्ति नहीं इट इज ऑल्सो एप्लिकेबल टू अस व्हेन योर इनकम exceeds your expenditure you are saved when your expenditure increases your income you have to be Ketan Parik and Harshad Mehta have to commit suicide so there is no link with that Odisha रे कौन होची गोटे वर्ष महाबात्या हम फसल नष्ट हम आ गोटे वर्ष वर्षा हम 3 फसल 3 वर्ष में गोटे पाइब और जाए जगन्नाथ पाखे मुंड बाड़ी देखिए आसे तू कहीं केमती कर गाड़ी फाड़ी कर रथयात्रा दिन आसे और सेफ रहे से जगन्नाथ रखिंट जय जगन्नाथ जय जगन्नाथ जय कमिंग टू नाबार्ड रोल Farmers Producer Organization the answer marketing through Amazon through big basket and linking them creating storage creating cold storage and warehouses so that the price can be stabilized पियाज जमी नासिक बहुत प्रोडक्शन है कि वर्षा हो गला से समय आम रखी था मिसर रू इजिप्ट रू पियाज मगेवा पड़ न था वी पेड फॉर इट हावी प्राइस सो दैट इज अ क्वेश्चन ऑफ प्लानिंग यस नाबार्ड हैज बीन प्लानिंग इट बट दैट इज अ नेसेसिटी फॉर स्टेट गवर्नमेंट आल्सो टू गिव अ हैंड
नहीं जदि अमेजन प्रभृति लोक किणिने मूलरू दैट इज देयर बिजनेस फॉर स्टोरेज तो फेलियर होची ओडिसा रे कौन से प्लानिंग कमिशन बा किछि कलेनी ये स्टोरेज कि कोल्ड स्टोरेज सब फेल मारला कौन सी कोल्ड स्टोरेज कम दौनी कहले भी करूना किंतु जदि अमेजन आपड़ कहते बिग बायर मैंने आसिक नहीं भेजिटेबल दैट इज देयर हेडेक टू कीप देम से व्यवस्था भी कले हाँ जे से किने से बिक्री करेंगे ଅନ୍ତତଃ ବିକ୍ରି ହେଇପାରନ୍ତା ଭେଜିଟେବୁଲ।
ଆପଣଙ୍କର 2 ବର୍ଷର ପବ୍ଲିକ ପଲିସି ଦେଖିବେ ମ୍ୟାଡ଼ାମ୍ ସୀତାରମଣଙ୍କର ବଜେଟ୍ ସ୍ପିଚ୍ 3ଟା ଆନାଉନ୍ସମେଣ୍ଟ କରାଯାଇଛି। ଗୋଟେ ହେଉଛି ଯେ କୋଲ୍ଡ ଷ୍ଟୋରେଜ୍ ପବ୍ଲିକ ପ୍ରାଇଭେଟ ପାର୍ଟନରସିପ୍ରେ ହେବ। ଏ ବର୍ଷର ଯେଉଁ କୃଷି ରେଲ୍ ଏଇଟା ପବ୍ଲିକ ପ୍ରାଇଭେଟ 500 ରେଲ୍ ଚାଲିବ ପ୍ରାଇଭେଟ ପାର୍ଟି ଦ୍ୱାରା, ଏବଂ କୃଷି ଏଆର୍ ଯେଉଁଟା ହେଉଛି ଏଇଟା ବି ପ୍ରାଇଭେଟ ପାର୍ଟି ଦ୍ୱାରା ହେବ। ତେଣୁ ଇଟ୍ ୱିଲ୍ ଟେକ୍ କେୟାର ଅଫ୍ ଦ୍ୟାଟ୍ ଟ୍ରାନ୍ସପୋର୍ଟେସନ୍ wherever there is a demand that will go. So this is the measures which are being taken to take care of the market. E-NAM and e-market is also another one where you sell. What we are trying to say that if you गंगूबाई जीव आज 10 बोरी आलू रखिब से जो रसीदटा नहीं आसो ओडिशा ग्राम्य बैंक को जीव ता अगेंस्ट ओडिशा ग्राम्य बैंक पैसा तक दब. This is the system which will work. It will not be lying there. So there is a system which it works against that is called negotiable. It is a negotiable instrument. Warehouse receipt is a negotiable instrument, and necessary policies and frameworks are being set up. Still it is in the policy, and this is being watered. People, most important for state government is not this, make the awareness program. I strongly advocate that agricultural department with extension program, they should make it aware to the farmers that these are the things available. Farmers producer organization is available, warehouse receipt is available for finance. So these are the things where awareness is a bigger campaign in the adaptation fund and risk mitigation fund for our NGOs are working in a big way.
ଓଡ଼ିଶା ତ ଫେଲୁଅର ହେଉଛି ଧାନ
ଓଡ଼ିଶା ପାଇଁ ଆମେ ଅଲଗା ଚର୍ଚ୍ଚା କରିବା। ମନୁ ଭାଇ କହୁଛି ଓଡ଼ିଶା ପାଇଁ ଗୋଟେ ଆପଣ ଯଦି କରିବେ ୱିଲ୍ କନସିଡର ଟୁ ସ୍ପନ୍ସର ମୋର କ୍ଲାଇମେଟ୍ ଚେଞ୍ଜ।
ମୋର ଗୋଟେ ଛୋଟିଆ ପ୍ରଶ୍ନ ଥିଲା ଡକ୍ଟର ମହାନ୍ତିଙ୍କୁ ଯେ ଓଡ଼ିଶାରେ ଆମେ ଯାହା ମୁଁ କହିଲି କନସିୟସନେସ୍ ଗ୍ରୋ କରିନି, ସେଥିରେ ଏଇ ଯେଉଁ କ୍ଲାଇମେଟ୍ ଗ୍ଲୋବାଲାଇଜେସନ୍ କି କ୍ଲାଇମେଟିକ୍ ଚେଞ୍ଜ ଉପରେ आर्टिस्ट राइटर्स मानकर कौन भूमिका रखा दरकार टू मेक इट टू स्प्रेड दी
Basically, the writers Amitabh Ghosh wrote a book called Great Derangement.
Yes.
You must have gone through it also. That is about
climate change.
Follow up to that, he wrote a book called novel.
Hunger Tide.
No.
That is Sundarban.
About Sundarban that long time back.
Then
Gun Island.
The latest one gone.
That is about climate change. Okay. So, that is about climate change.
Yes.
Climate is such a large panoramic thing that most authors have not touched it. But that was there. Gopinath Mohanty is writing Koraja and other thing. If you look at it, it's a large canvas. The touch. It is not only 1-2 characters here. There were the
Community total.
totally etc. So what happened? 1930 onwards, the world over in the literature, atomized individual became more important than the community, than the entire society, etc. Society also was a character earlier, but 1930 onwards, the individual expressionism overtook that. But the role of artists is to bring it, and no one can bring it to the fore as much as the artist can. The only thing is the art will have to recognize that climate change is also can be a subject matter.
Yes.
आर्टिस्ट पोएट्स
Everyone, they have to recognize that it can be a subject matter. It is not necessarily that Romeo and Juliet alone, but your climate getting debilitated, your environment getting destroyed, that is also a panic button which the artist should respond to. Okay. And actually Youth Hunt had a very good statement. Youth Hunt, the UN Secretary General, he said in future, when people stand and look at the sunrise and sunset, or in another planet, when people look at this planet, they will say, such intelligent people were there in this planet, but they never thought about this, and they allowed that planet to be destroyed. So the role for the artists, etc., is very much there. The only thing is that we should be consensus enough to switch gear and go to that level of writing. But it's got to be good writing, because great disservice to climate change you can do is to come out with very mediocre writing. Thank you.
ମୁଁ
मु मनुदास को उत्तर देवी जेपर्यंत मनुदास कविता लेखि ना साधव ऊपर केंचुओ ऊपर भ्रमर ऊपर और प्रजापति ऊपर से पर्यंत क्लाइमेट चेंज हो पार ना। केंचुओ कौन काम करुच्ची भ्रमर केमी पराग संगम करुच्ची प्रजापति केमी पराग संगम करुच्ची एवं साधव आज देखा जाऊना तापर आप कविता लिखु क्लाइमेट चेंज जो मैंने वक्ता से मैंने आप नतमस्तक हे। जय जगन्नाथ।
ଆପଣ ଗୋଟେ କଥା କହିଲେ ଯୋଉଟା କି जो लोकंकर जो आफुलेंस आटिट्यूड कंज्यूमरिज्म सेटा को मध्य से विषय अवेयरनेस दरकार यदि कंज्यूमरिज्म ग्रो करने फल कंज्यूमरिज्म
Economists are very scared of telling that consume less. The growth, the neoliberal growth theory which is built up from 1970 onwards had made a gospel truth out of two things: the demand curve and the supply curve. The gospel truth, as it is just like the law of thermodynamics in physics, but it's not. It is not. So that's why they if there is more consumption, more production, more economic activity, more growth. So we are growth driven. But at the second thing is that more production means more consumption means the prices will come down. Okay, more facilities will come up, etc. So economists have got a discomfiture with regard to consumption. But the fact of the matter is, if you go beyond this particular thing, consumerism is part of the problem. I looked at my wardrobe. I have got 27 suits. Do I require 27 suits? Even if I am in Delhi? Do I require? So more you are buying, more you are consuming. That's not necessary. That's number one. Number two, Aguru, why our society was so, this thing that wasteless. Don't waste. One of the things, this thing is that when food is there, one of the traditional training is don't waste food. Don't take it to your plate and waste it. Why? And Odisha re kohtile je Lakshmi chhadde. Kai thila seta. Wastage to be avoided. Now you look at how much of wastage of food is there. How much of wastage is there in Odisha in every marriage.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Every function, etc. So, for that kind of living, our model has been America. America, for everyone else to become America in the world, you require 6 earths. One earth cannot contain. For that kind of production, that kind of consumption, that kind of affluence, etc., this earth cannot sustain. Okay, this earth will have to go down. You require 6 earths. You have to colonize 5 more earths. But that is not happening. So, consumption, lifestyle change is least talked about item of climate change.
Yes.
Because we economists handle it purely in terms of a quadratic equation which we call the damage function. The coefficient goes down. Once the heating, warming goes up, the coefficient goes down, etc. in that quadratic equation. So we have a construct available. But going down, we will never talk about the lifestyle needs to be changed. Lifestyle needs to be changed. And there is a great disparity in the climate change discourse. The rich countries are going to be least affected. Okay. Poor countries will be the most affected. But that is the short-term view. If poor countries which have got large number of population, etc., are affected, their consumption will come down. They will be least dependent on the market of the West. They will also suffer. So we have to, what it hogo achi. Husband marjao pache. Se theory re chalibo. In an interdependent world, that theory will not work. Because in the first round, yes, you will not suffer the damage, poor countries will suffer the damage. Second round, you will suffer the damage because they are not buying. So you also become poorer. And every growth is on a smaller base because everything is falling. छोटो बेस तल बेस रे कले 3% ग्रोथ है only 3% of a lesser growth base. So until the time the disparate situation is breached and everyone comes together to put money in research and development, you can't do much. Thank you.
Sir.
Only last question.
Sir, I am from Balangir. Balangir, गोटे इनसीडेंट आपंकर माने अटेंशन ड्र कर गत अगस्ट 13 तारिख में बलांगीर शहर टाउन रे बन्या बलांगीर टाउन पाखे किसी नदी ना नदीटा डिस्टेंट लैंड रे अच्छे से बन्या भी कौन सी नदी हो ना अच्छा हठात पानी शहर भीतर को पानी मारी आसला सकाळ अर्ली मॉर्निंग 5:36 o'clock मॉर्निंग जे सेटा आम घर को भी पानी पसला 8टा बेले लेकिन से पानी आसु आसु आम घरटा जोठी अछि टिके समय लागला तापरे 12टा बेले पानी 3 फुट पानी घर भीतर आमर पसला अन्य मान घर जा लो लेवल अछि बहुत पानी पसला से दिन भीषण वर्षा होतला तार पूर्व दिन राति तो वर्षा होतला वर्षा कंटिन्यू चलीतला किंतु 12टा बेले से बन्या छाड़ी गला आमर गोटे कुआटे अछि घरे आमे देखुतलो से कुआर तार से जो चांदनी टाइम बुड़ी जाइला बुड़ी कर भी आ उच्च को पानी उठितला धीरे धीरे से देखा गला आमे भाबिलो हां 12टा बेले पानी छाड़ी गला बोल घर भीतर को पानी भी सेटा भी धीरे धीरे कमी गला किंतु 2टा बेले पुणी थरे बन्या ए 2 घंटा परे आउ थरे जो बन्या हला तार ताकू एड्रेस ए पर्यंत बलांगीर एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन करि पानाते काहे कि सेकंड टाइम बन्या हला सेकंड टाइम बन्या हवार कोनसी मु कोनसी जगह सुने नै द्वितीय थर 2 घंटा परे आउ थरे बन्या हवाटा अनलेस किछि नदी जदि अछि बेला सेटा अलगा कथा बलांगीर शहर आख पाखरे 10 किलोमीटर रेडियस रे केवल गोटे डैम अछि आ से बन्या हवार कारण डैम रो बाड़ा भांगी गला बोली हम सोइलु सेटा हेतिबो सकाळर माने बन्याटा तापर तो डैम रो सब पानी पड़े जाइतबो 2-4 घंटा भितरे आ जीवा पानी जीवा काई कि गोटे बहुत प्रकांड नालटे जाय छै से शहर भीतर देखि बहुत पानी सेतरे जाय पारे ना ब्रिज ब्रिज सब अछि किंतु 2टा बेले जो पुणी थरे बन्या हला सेकंड टाइम बन्या को केही ए पर्यंत आ 6 मास हे गलानी मो एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन सांगरे भी सब माने जोगाजोग रखिछि पचरा उतरा करे थरे कलेक्टर को गोटे मीटिंग रे भेटथिले जे सर सेकंड टाइम बन्या काहे हला आमे देखुछु बोली कहले किंतु ए पर्यंत दैट हैज नॉट बीन एड्रेस्ड आ सेटा गोटे रहस्य होई रहि जाय छै भलिया मते लागुछि किंतु गोटे एनजीओ थ्रू रे मु 2 मास परे जानिले जे द्वितीय थर पय बलांगीर शहर रे बन्या काहे हला तार कारण से कहतले सेटा मते गोटे प्रोबेबल कारण भलिया लागला सेटा होछि जे सेवन स्टडी कॉलेज तार पाखर आखरे प्राय 5 किलोमीटर रेडियस रे बलांगीर शहर बाहर 36 टा जगह रे लैंडस्लाइड हेतला आ से लैंडस्लाइड हला बेलको पानी सेपट जमा हेकि रह जायतला सेटा धीरे धीरे डिस्लॉज हला ताने पानीटा आ 2 घंटा परे से पानी गुडा को शहर भीतर को से थ्रू दैट डैम मारी आसला दैट मे बी द प्रोबेबल कॉज किंतु एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन ताको ए पर्यंत एड्रेस कर नांती काहे कि द्वितीय थर पय बन्ना हला आपण कोन भावछन ए बाबत के एटा गोटे माने आश्चर्य कथा
I stay in Delhi, so naturally I will not hazard the case without knowing the facts. And I am happy that you are telling that.
आ जदि लैंडस्लाइड रो पानी आस्तिबो सेकंड टाइम सेटा गछ कटा बाबत रे निश्चय तार रिपरकशन थिबो गछ नाही बोली लैंडस्लाइड हेतिबो एटा हेतिबो निश्चय
Several reasons are there. गछ न रहले भी गोटा रीजन थाए. But बलांगीरटा तो एते हिली एरिया नो बलांगीरटा by and large plateau. It's a plateau. अच्छा तो सर I will not hazard a guess without knowing much about it. But I am happy that you have not accepted the reasoning given by others and you say that it is a probable cause. I think that there is nothing
happens without any cause.
Nothing दैविक शक्ति द्वारा किसी
ना सेटा
there must be some reason behind it. That reason part of it, why it has not been revealed, that is surprising. But
एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन ताको जदि एड्रेस करबे ताको रेस्पोंसिबिलिटी पड़े आसीबो बोधे जने
administration are not the scientific community. Someone from the scientific community should have come out with the finding by now. Administration, their job is to, their job is carpentry, iron smithery, a little bit of this thing. Administration job is that. Okay. But scientific community will have to come out with the answer. Really? Problem solving is that, but the point is why it happened. Someone will have to come out with that. Okay. And that will have to come from people who are knowledgeable in that field. It is a surprising incident. Someone knowledgeable, set of knowledgeable people will have to sit down and try to figure it out. What it is. There is a reason, but what is that reason? Okay. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Can I speak something?
basically we are lagging behind.
At the last.
गोविंद 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 आगकु आसुची विपद मीन खेलिबे पाचरे पथर खसिब उपरे अच्युतानंदन ताको मालिकार लिखिछंती इफ यू डोंट गो फॉर अडॉप्टेशन फंड्स एंड इफ यू डोंट फॉर मिटिगेशन फंड्स दिस विल हैपन दिस इज व्हाट हैज बीन रिटन कदाचित कालंदि तट विपिनो संगीत कबरो मुदाभीरि नारी बदन कमला स्वाद मधुप रमा शंभु ब्रह्म मरपति गणेशार्चित पदो जगन्नाथ स्वामी नयन पथगामी भवतु मे जगन्नाथ ऐसे राज्य को रक्षा करंतु यही कामना जय जगन्नाथ जय जगन्नाथ जय जगन्नाथ।